Welcome back, Wolfpack Rules here, and this is going to be an interesting battle because I love seeing the Gastrodon, and there's also going to be a Lapras in there, so some fun Pokemon, and the opponent is also going to be bringing something interesting as well, the Eviolite Scyther. Eviolite Scyther is pretty good. Like, it can still set up and do a lot of really nice things. It has, like, I think the same amount of damage potential, just like different typing and a little bit different on Caesar. But with the Eviolite, it gets tankiness, and it can still work out pretty well. Salamence, though, it's going to have that Intimidate, and it does not want to stay in against the Lapras, which is an Ice type, and the Ice Beam threat from the Gastrodon, so that's going to be Arcanine coming in. But now you're switching in a Fire type move, a Pokemon, into two Water types as well. That's really a lose-lose situation. Scyther going to use that first turn to protect, and we're going to see that Lapras wanted to Freeze Dry. Oh man, that would have been some sick damage onto the Salamence, but that's also going to be Gastrodon with the stockpile. Yes, there we go. Alright, I'm excited. I always love it because Gastrodon in doubles can do like stockpile, recover, and then 2 damage moves. It can either go with like Scald, Ice Beam. I've seen Scald, Earth Power. It's a really nice Pokemon, and if you let it get that free stockpile on the setup, it's not going to take damage. So Aerial Ace with Scyther does work on that Eviolite. Still has a Technician. Does need to get a Swords Dance in before it starts getting crazy. And that's kind of it. But Aerial Ace, yeah, is going to work out. So Storm Drain right there. And that's one of the combos I was looking for. So with the Recover, or not with the Recover, with the Lapras, we can go and use Surf. And then we can double Surf. And the double Surf combo is something I love so much. You bring like dual Water Absorb. Also works with Discharge. But the double Surf, you're going to be hitting not insane damage. As you can see, it's a slow, steady battle, but Gastrodon's going to be gaining special attack from Lapras' Surf, also gaining defenses off that stockpile, so it's pretty difficult to knock out. Has the recover healing, but then Lapras gets a quarter of its hit points every turn as well, so that's pretty much how it works. And then if there's a Dragon threat or something like that, you just hit an Ice Beam with it, so it does cover pretty well in a lot of situations. Arcanine, though, going to throw out the Snarl, going to try to lower that special attack, so Gastrodon's kind of in an up and down battle right now. Lapras is going to be losing damage over time, but Lapras is the Surf. Gastrodon is going to gain that Storm Drain, and, you know, it's just going to be, like, more damage overall. You know, that Surf's not going to knock out Arcanine, but eventually Gastrodon's going to get the Surf. It's going to patch up the damage from the Lapras, and that's it. Scyther, though, isn't really taking much of anything, and that will happen, so it's going to just be pretty solid right there, and Arcanine does go down. So, staying kind of neutral, Gastrodon is going to start getting some gains, though, without that Snarl anymore, and we just get to see where this goes, and that's going to be Salamence. So Salamence's like, alright, Lapras can't Freeze Dry me, hopefully, too bad if I Mega Evolve, and we're going to see if this is what happens. So it is going to be the Mega Salamence, and we're going to see who gets targeted first, because you can take that speed priority, and you can kind of throw it into any Pokemon, but Stockpile's not going to be that much damage, and Salamence is just going to go for that first turn on the Protect. And we get to see what the Scyther's up to. Scyther's just throwing out the Aerial Ace. It's trying to get some damage in, but it's not going to do much, and the Freeze Dry is going to miss right there. Gastrodon with the Surf, going to go and heal Water Lapras thing, but it's at full health, so that doesn't really matter. And Scyther taking just a bit more damage. So the opponent, I feel like he should have been going for some Swords Dance or something instead of the Protect. Scyther wasn't really threatened. The return from Mega Salamence, though, not enough damage. The Aerial Ace from Scyther, not enough damage. And Lapras gets the Free Dry for that Freeze Dry. And that is not going to be enough to one-hit KO the Salamence. We do get the Freeze, though, which is pretty nice. But Gastrodon is going for the Recover on this turn. So that's going to be really solid overall. Now, that Freeze Dry does help pretty substantially, because yeah, after getting those Snarls in, Salamence doesn't get one shot, but Salamence is frozen solid. Either way, it was getting picked off this turn, but it would have been a finish onto the Gastrodon, so that's going to be the damage. Ooh, Lapras with a Surf, so going to try to stack gain on the Gastrodon and just spread across some damage. You know, with that freeze, you get to take a little bit extra liberty right there, and ooh, Scyther gets the crit, and Gastrodon's going to turn around the Surf as well, so Lapras didn't need to worry, but that is going to keep Gastrodon alive for the double Surf. Not a double KO, though. Scyther is going to go down as residual damage. Salamence still frozen, so that's what's going to happen. And like I said, I love the combo. I love the idea behind like these double healing comps, and I like seeing them from time to time. Gastrodon, nice little twist on it, because it's not directly Water Absorb, but you're still going to be gaining damage. That's going to be the damage on the Salamence. I feel you could have Freeze Dried on the Rotom and then had like Gastrodon finish off with a Surf or something, but that's Lapras. even a Thunderbolt from Rotom doesn't do that much damage to it. The Paralysis does come through, but then all Gastrodon has to do is use like Surf, and Lapras gets a lot of its health back. That's going to be a free recover as well, so now both Pokemon going to be really close to full hit points. That's Gastrodon leftovers healing up to full. Lapras, it can throw out the Freeze Dry, receive a Surf, and good things are going to happen, or it can switch out. I didn't expect that, but you know, that's going to happen. And then Crobat comes in. Crobat isn't the Pokemon I think of for dealing with a Rotom, but Gastrodon's going to Surf. Crobat's going to take a bit of that Surf damage, and that's just kind of how it happens. So Rotom being the last Pokemon on the field, I guess you might as well try to go for it. There's a taunt, making sure no Will-O-Wisp, no shenanigans, no Pain Split, nothing silly like that, and we're just going to try to Surf this thing down. Also, Crobat does have some good Cross Poison damage, so I guess just going for that last turn finish, hopefully we get some damage onto the Rotom. Cross Poison, going to be decent, going to get that Poison. I don't think the Surf, maybe Surf with the Poison will finish off, and Rotom with the Thunderbolt. Crobat does go down, and then Gastrodon's just going to get the cleanup after all of that. I think that's going to be a pretty nice GG, so Gastrodon's going to finish the Surf, and that's going to end the Rotom. Oh, yeah, and then we get Poison. So, like I said, I don't think the freeze really mattered. The only thing that would have changed is that Gastrodon would have gone down, but then we have two other Pokemon that would have worked, and we would have freeze dried on the Salamence instead of Surf, because now with that freeze turn, you know you're going to be absolutely safe. So because of that, there was a pretty balanced trade. Arcanine was already down. Scyther wasn't really doing too much, because I feel the Scyther wasn't a bad pick. Scyther didn't take a lot of damage in the situation. He just wasn't setting up with it. He was playing too safe, I feel. And then that just kind of backfired because he couldn't out-damage onto the Gastrodon. So that's what I see in the battle. Lopunny can come in and clean up. The Will-O-Wisp could have been bad, but if Crobat had the taunt on it, Rotom would have been simple for a high jump kick to get knocked out. Something like that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, and we have some more Fan Fridays coming up for this week.